All right. Welcome to another episode of the All American Hoops Podcast, episode 81. As per usual, I'm joined by my younger brother, Matt Driscoll.
it's always a pleasure. I missed last week, very, very sad. I'm happy that, John was able to make it, but it's sad. We haven't had a full squad in a couple weeks now. Now
It's
John
been,
can't make it this week.
yeah, it's been a little bit. In case you guys were wondering whether John couldn't make it or not, it is actually because the Knicks reached out to us and we granted them full permission to interview John for the head coaching position job. They were desperate, so they finally started reaching out to podcasters. And yes, I decided to give them full permission for him to interview the job. So we're wishing John the best of luck in his potential new employment, but we'll see there.
Yeah, I'm shocked they asked John before they asked Doc Rivers.
Before Doc Rivers, before Mike Woodson, before Jay Wright. Yeah, okay, well, who knows? Maybe those guys didn't leak their reports, but yeah, that's what it is. That's a joke. That's a joke. Everyone before anyone tries to fact check us. But anyway, this is episode 81. So, two players in NBA history have won the number 81. Jose Calderon were in 2018. Nice. That's one of LeBron's minions that he played in 2018, and he also wore number 81 for the Detroit Pistons in 2019. And then Mie Oni, he currently plays for the it's not current at all. I don't know why it was bold. But he played for the Utah Jazz for 3 seasons from 2020 to 2022. I believe he wore the number 20. He wore the number 81 for 3 years. I don't know why it's only coming up for. I don't know why his stats are only coming up 3 years. Maybe because it was like a regular preseason game or something that he played for them, or unless he played for the playoffs. Maybe I'm just looking at the regular season aspect of it. No, just the playoffs, just the regular season. So yeah, so two players in NBA history to wear the number 81. I believe that after this week, we took a couple weeks break between 77 and 81. I believe that there is no number 82, but then 83 through 89 is pretty full for the most part. So we'll be back to our regular schedule programs naming some of the most random players in NBA history. Any other 81s in history though?
Amari Toomer episode, Giants.
Amari Toomer, okay, all right.
I think there was some Mets reliever. I'm trying to think of his name. A couple of years ago, yeah, that wore like the pad on his hat.
Oh yeah, what was it? I feel like his name was Pablo, but it could be wrong though. Pablo Torres or something like that.
Yeah. I'm pulling it up right now. I thought I would be able to come up with it. All right, let me see.
I have it up right now, but I don't.
No.
Oh, it's not him.
Danny Young wore 81.
Yeah, I guess so.
81.
Yeah.
I would have never got that.
Me neither. I would have said like in the 30s or something.
Jason Vargas.
Vargas, yeah. Jonishi Vargas,
he sucked. He was horrible.
Yeah. Was he? It was the 2021 Mets. You could only assume so, but yeah. So we got an awesome show ahead of us today. Our season's winding down. Season 2 of the All American Hoops podcast is winding down. We're very excited about that. We got keep talking about how excited I am for the offseason because we're approaching the offseason very differently. We were mostly focused on Team USA stuff during last summer. So we'll be doing a lot of offseason stuff. This is going to be one of the most productive off seasons of all time. We also have I really haven't in my 2 years. In my 80 something episodes, I haven't done any historical stuff. I did my all-time top 10 list in episode 2. Outside that, I've really done any historical stuff. So I'm definitely taking this off season to do so. Maybe even doing some episodes multiple nights a week. We're also winding down to that episode 100, which will be a couple months from now. But I am in the pre stages of planning out an awesome episode for that. So we're very excited about that. Cool. Anyway, let's get to talking about before we jump ahead. Let's talk about what we have right now, and that's one banger of a series in the NBA Finals right now. The Indiana Pacers are currently up 2-1 on the OKC Thunder, stealing another game. I wouldn't say in the olden days you wouldn't really say that winning at home is stealing one, but however, I don't think many people were. I don't think anyone was expecting to come away from Game 3 the Pacers being up 2-1. I certainly wasn't. But it's been a pretty awesome series. I know that some people will dive into like try to overanalyze and say, oh, game one wasn't really that fun besides the last few minutes. Which if that's your way of thinking, you're a miserable person. If you're thinking like, but the last few minutes, like no, it was it was a relatively close game. Like they kept it close, and yeah, if you don't enjoy that, then you don't like basketball. Like all due respect. Um, game two was pretty boring, if I'll be honest. That's just how it was. And then game three yesterday was an awesome game, and the fourth quarter was amazing as well. Just two, yeah, John and I dove into a little bit, but it was very much a going into the series. Like everyone knew the Thunder were the better team, but once you dove into it, like they are pretty similar in the sense of like style play on offense and everything. But regardless, the Thunder haven't really been able to out talent them. Like at the end of the day, I thought, yeah, last year, the biggest concern with the Celtics was they wouldn't be able to out talent certain teams, and like their lack of execution was going to hurt them, but that ends up not being the case. Man, who knows? Maybe this will be like the 2015 Warriors in the sense that the Thunder will be able to win 3 in a row. Maybe even the 2022 Warriors were able to win 3 in a row after losing one at home and then game 3. But as of now, it's not looking good for the Thunder. They'll have to win. What is it? 3 out of the next. What's it? 3 out of the next. Wait, what is it?
3 out of the next 4.
Is it 3 out of the next 4? Yeah, 3 out of the next 4. Yeah, 3 out of the next 4. So, which they've been doing all season long, so they're more than capable of. If you were to ask me, I'd probably still take the Thunder. But Matt, I'd like to know what your thoughts are.
Well, to start off, Vegas agrees with you that they would still take the Thunder. Thunder are currently minus 220. I mean, which is a big difference than minus 700 at the beginning of the series, but still minus 200 is quite surprising. Pacers are at plus 185 right now. I'm upset that you brought up the 2022 finals. Obviously, Warriors over
sorry about that. Yeah,
Warriors over the Celtics, but I mean, I kind of have the same feeling a little bit as well. I mean, coming into the series, I thought it would be a pretty good series, but I thought the Thunder were just kind of, like you said, out talent the Pacers. But time and time again, we're seeing that that team basketball, kind of beats all, and we kind of see that all the time throughout NBA history. I mean, look at our last couple of champions. I mean, the Celtics last year played team basketball. They moved the ball around. Same with the Nuggets in 2023, 2022. The Warriors, there's a ton of off ball movement there. And I'm not saying the Thunder don't really play team basketball, but in a sense, SGA has the ball for a long time. A lot of the possessions, it's a lot of ISO ball. The offense at the end of the game last night looked very, very stagnant, which it's kind of death when you're playing the Pacers. They get a stop and they start running. So saying all this, I am very surprised that the Pacers are up 2-1. I just want to, we've been big Pacer fans since they played the Celtics last year. Sorry, the iPad just turned off. I just looked this up. Do you know who had better odds than the Pacers to win the championship at the beginning of the year this year, Chris?
better odds. I'm assuming definitely the Sixers. I'm assuming, is that the team you were going to say?
Sixers were third. The
Third?
New Orleans Pelicans.
New Orleans Pelicans. No way, really?
Yeah. The Pacers were. Sorry, it's loading here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Matt, by the way, that iPad was old in 2022, I think it was 2023. I bought that iPad in 2023. I'm pretty sure it was old then. So yes, so props to you for using that during the show.
The Pacers had 16 teams over them as favorites to win the NBA
16,
finals.
Holy crap.
The 3 teams I'll do the 5 teams ahead of them. Pelicans, Heat, Lakers, Warriors, Magic all had better odds. The Phoenix Suns had better odds than them. The Bucks had better odds than them.
I mean, those make sense because they have 2 superstars, but
now they just have to go 2-3 to win the NBA finals. 2-2.
Wild.
2-2. Yeah, 2-2 to win the NBA finals.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you want to go a little deeper into the actual game itself, or do you want to focus more on the series as a whole?
If you have stuff to say about Game 3, that's fine. But if you also want to stay big, if you want to stay big picture, that's fine too.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about how good the Pacers' depth is. I mean, we talk about it every single game. I feel like we kind of touch on the same points, but I mean, time and time again, it shows. You're getting TJ McConnell for 15 minutes a game, and he's scoring 10 points. He had 4 assists before he even scored a point. Let me see. He was a plus 12 in a game that they won by 9. Obi Toppin was a plus 18 in a game they won by 9. Benneth Matherin had 27 points in 22 minutes. Shout out Bill Simmons for predicting that exactly. Um, so that's the thing. I mean, you get only 7 points from Neesmith. You get 8 points from Nemhart. So you have guys that, I mean, they didn't shoot poorly, but they didn't shoot a lot. A couple of their starters don't play well, and Bennett Matherin comes off the bench and scores over 20. TJ McConnell gives you double-digit points in 15 minutes. Obi Toppin is a plus 18. And compared to the Oklahoma City Thunder bench, who Hartenstein only had 4 points. Caruso played well, but only had 8 points. Isaiah Joe had 6 points. Aaron Wiggins was did not score. So, I mean, it just shows you, like I said earlier, team basketball will prove to be the winner every year. I mean, history is kind of repeating itself.
That's for sure. And it's and it both teams work in the sense of team basketball. Obviously, yeah, as you mentioned, like Shea can be a little ball heavy sometimes, but that being said, I think most of that does have to do with the fact that they're a younger team and they time their rotation a little bit, and once things get tough, that's when you have to start relying on your best player, especially when the gap in talent is that big. That kind of happened with the Thunder in 2012. Obviously, the Thunder were a deep team, but then but then Durant also had Westbrook, so I guess it was more of a gap between 1 and 2. They had Harden too, but it was clearly Durant's 1, Westbrook 2. But it tends to happen with younger teams to where the series isn't over yet. So I don't want to make any indictments on the Thunder. I'm more so talking about what has already happened. So
yeah. Sorry, I just when I say like the team basketball point for the Pacers, that's more of a I'm saying the Pacers play so team basketball. Yes. I'm not saying that the Thunder don't. It's just compared to the Pacers do more.
100%. Yeah.
Also, series isn't over. Vegas thinks the Thunder are still going to win. I would probably still pick the Thunder to win this series. However, if you went into the game last night and said Lou Dort is going to shoot 5 of 4 from 3, and the team is going to shoot 45% from 3. Yeah, what did I say?
You said 5 and 4. So yeah, I don't know if you meant on the SEOs. 4 or 5.
4 or 5 from 3. He shot 80%. Alex Caruso shot 2 of 2 from 3. And as a team, you guys shot 45% from 3, 46. They probably think they win that game. I mean, and you turn Halliburton over 4 times. You probably think you win that game, and you hold the Pacers to 33% from 3.
Not only that, I know the Pacers were up 8 when the two things happened, but Halliburton, I think 2 of those turnovers were two of the times where the Pacers shot themselves in the foot. Like it was an 8-point game. I was like, oh crap, the Thunder are going to win this thing, but they just didn't execute down the stretch. I'm just interested to see if there are going to be any adjustments made by the Thunder, because iHeart has kind of been a non-factor. I feel like which it was expected. The Thunder weren't going to go big, were going to go double big because they wanted to try to trying to out strategize them from the jump. I feel like it's almost to a degree to where the Thunder are the favorites. I feel like they should have been the ones to punch first and then let the other team adjust. And granted throughout the playoffs, the Thunder double big lineup hasn't been as good with both them on the court as when they stagger the lineups. But I'm not really sure, and I don't if it is the right move to go back to the double big lineup or if it's just a better move just to go with what they have now and just go with the 5 out lineup at times and just go with either Caruso or Kaysen. In the last couple minutes, it's been Caruso lately, mainly because he's the veteran guy, he's the champion, he's perfect for his role. But I don't really this isn't me sitting here saying the Thunder didn't have Mark Dano, which if you say that they're losing because of him, you're an idiot. Kind of like you sound kind of familiar here. We're talking about elite coaches here. But I don't really, it's one of the worst things is you mentioned the Thunder have been shooting the ball great, but they're still losing. The other thing is to consider is it's tough to diagnose exactly what's going on, because obviously just letting Benedict Mathurin drop 27 is obviously, it's one of those things to say okay, that's never going to happen again, which it likely won't happen again. But what if it does? Same thing with TJ McConnell as well. But yeah, like you mentioned, at the end of the day, Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam are the two clear-cut best players on the team. But the rest of the guys, any other given nights, Aaron Nesmith can go off from three. He can explode from three in the fourth quarter. Miles Turner can, I guess that is great moments where like he's like blocked Chet a couple times down the stretch in clutch moments. Andrew Nemhard is one of the best player risers in the league. And then I haven't even done this with, and I haven't even mentioned Mather and McConnell when it's listed off those guys. And it's just like obviously basketball like teams are usually better like when players know their role, but they're even better when players acknowledge when players that are playing bad acknowledge when they're playing bad and default to their other players and the players know when to step up.
I'm looking at you said you couldn't diagnose the problem from last game.
Mhm.
Or I mean, in general, I mean the games that the Thunder lost, they scored 110 points or less. In the game that they won, they scored 120 points.
Right.
The biggest problem, I mean, if you just look at the box score, they scored 18 points in the fourth quarter. The Pacers
Ooh.
scored 32. And I'm trying to pull up the by quarter stats right now, but I mean, like I said, it felt like they were so stagnant at the end. I mean, SGA had 6 turnovers, McConnell had 5 steals himself. Like, if you turn the ball over against this team, it's really you're shooting yourself in the own foot, like you said.
Absolutely. But let's talk about Shea for a little bit because I'm not gonna slander him. I'm not gonna slander him a ton just because he did score 38 in game one, which granted, like I know some people will sit back and say that wasn't a good 38, which that's when you've made the league as a superstar is when people say like, oh, it wasn't a good 38, which like by the way, like I don't mean to crap on our own fan base, but people saying saying like, oh, why haven't we been talking about like people like if this was Tatum, like people would have been saying a lot worse things. What do you think? Do you think that Shea's playing better now than Tatum did in last finals?
Then what? Sorry, you cut out.
Shea for Shea games 1, 2, and 3 was that better than Tatum last finals? 1, 2, and 3.
The thing is, SGA is playing pretty poor defense.
That's true.
And I forget how many assists SGA had game 2, but it wasn't a lot. But scoring the ball, it's not even a question. SGA has been scoring the ball better. I mean, he's been pretty efficient. I mean, last night he was 9 of 20 and had the couple turnovers and didn't shoot that well from 3. But I think offensively, I would say SGA has been better than Tatum last finals.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, this isn't getting talked about." I feel like it's getting talked about. I
yes,
feel like
it is.
Been slandered pretty like a lot.
That's my favorite thing is people say like, "Oh, why haven't people talked about this?" Like, okay, they have. And and nothing. Yeah, something fell over. Nothing stopping you from talking about it. If you wanted to do that, but like yeah, like I mean, that's another problem to diagnose is your best player has to not shoot the ball. Like if your best player is going to shoot the ball poorly, he has to do other things. Which Shea does do other things. He's a great driver, causes the defenses to collapse, leaving his teammates wide open. Worst comes to worst, that's what his teammate does. Kind of like every other star in the league. If Steph Curry's not shooting the ball well, he has a million defenders defending him and leaving his teammates open. If Giannis is having a poor night if he's like missing a bunch of free throws, he's gonna protect the rim on the other end. You could list off every single superstar. If they're not shooting the ball well, then they're doing other things. I feel like Shea is a super. Yeah.
Go ahead. I thought your point was done. Go ahead.
I was saying like I feel like Shea is a superstar to where like yes he is impacting the game in other ways, but I feel like if he's not scoring the ball well, his impact isn't there as much as the other superstars.
Okay, I understand that take.
I might be being too unfair with him right now, but I don't know what your thought process is.
I think the biggest takeaway with me is that I mean he is averaging 5 assists a game. He is averaging 6 rebounds a game as well as 32. I mean last night I think was an outlier of how he's been playing. Last night was a bad game, even though he did shoot 45% from the field. I think he had 24 or something like that, but he turned the ball over 6 times. It was more than half his turnovers for the series. So, I mean, sometimes it's just a bad game, but I'm more shocked on his defense. I feel like his defense has been very, very poor the first 3 games of the year. I know blow-by rate was used a lot for the Luka performance in the finals, and it was way more clear with Luca compared to
for
SGA.
sure.
But I feel
Yeah.
like the Pacers. I think I saw a tweet that his blow by rate was like 3% less than Luca this
Wow.
finals compared to Luca last finals, and that's kind of just crazy to think.
That's crazy to think about for sure. Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, if so like if Shea plays better, yeah, like, which I think he will. I think the Thunder do come away with this, but I don't know. So like I think everyone else, yeah, I think everyone on the Thunder is pretty safe with like to where like I know people are going to start to say like O'Shea isn't he's not top three. He's obviously not better than Jokic, Giannis, or Luca. Like I'm sure that'll be the arguments there. I'm wondering now. I'm sure with Chet, it's going to be the same thing for Chet and J-Dub as well. Their rankings somehow are going to fall after making the finals. But we talked about it earlier. We talked about it 2 weeks ago a little bit as well. People are going to start overrating the whole thing. Like, oh, Tyrese Halliburton is the most overrated player in the league. You proved everyone wrong. He's going to win the finals, and he's going to become overrated again.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then Pascal Siakam, who we love on this pod,
Yep.
it's everyone's now is he's the most underrated player, which we've been saying. You know, he's so underrated,
Yeah.
so underrated. Now it's going to be people are going to say he's so underrated that he becomes overrated. I have another point about the Thunder, Chris. I don't
Sure.
think that these first couple games are on SGA at all. Granted, last night you could say it was his fault. I mean, I don't think he's entirely to blame. Chet Holmgren has to wake up. He's
That's
shooting
for sure.
10% from
I
three.
haven't even talked about him either. Yeah, it's definitely him. Definitely on him
He's
as well.
made one three in 3 games, and he's taken 10 of them. He's shooting 40% from the field. And Miles Turner, I mean, he had a pretty tough game. Like stats wise, didn't have a great game last night, but I feel like he's having a pretty solid series from just what I've been watching. Jalen Williams had a good night last night, but his first 2 games were pretty bad. He's shooting 39% from for the series, 27 from three. I mean, you need your number 2 option and number 3 option to show up in the finals. It's just absolutely needed. I get they're 22 years old, 23 years old, but like for the Thunder to win, they have to wake up. I feel like they're more the X factor than SGA is.
That's definitely fair enough. And it's yeah. I definitely agree with you that Chet is definitely Jada's a little more interesting just because he's a little more inconsistent. Chet's usually more consistent with like his impact. Yeah, I feel like that just hasn't been there, especially like down the stretch. Like I don't know about like the entire game. I'm not sure, but I definitely know like in like the later in the games, Miles Turner has looked like the better player. Like we know that's not the case, but like like in like certain moments, it looks like it's been clear Miles Turner has been the more experienced player, and like the experience has been showing there. Which, by the way, shout out Miles Turner. He's veteran big. He's been on the trade block every single year since he's arrived there. But Indiana loves him, and it's been super cool to see.
Yeah, it's cool when a homegrown guy. I mean, this is his 10th season, I think.
Yeah.
10th or 9th season, and he's been on the trade block every single year. It's cool to see like a homegrown guy make the finals.
Absolutely. Okay, so me. I wasn't gonna do this, but like I think it's honestly easier just to do this now. Which by the way, yeah, you know what's great. I was just gonna read off some trades, but like, and I have a couple of them written down, but like I'd rather just like do them in real time. So, so like I have Spotrac, the trading machine, open right now. Because actually, before I do that, let's talk about what we're doing first. So, Kevin Durant's trade talks have been sparking up. People talking about what's going on and certain trades because it did come out the other day that it's looking unlikely that Giannis will be moved over the offseason. So of course Kevin Durant is the next biggest name on the market, even if he's going to be cost significantly less given his that he's not as good as Giannis anymore, and obviously given that he's 37. But a tweet came out from Shams yesterday of a couple of front runners. I have too many notifications on from too many accounts, but okay. So ESPN reporting the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner Rich Kleinman are sorting through trade options with interested teams mainly featuring Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, and New York. So that's 5 teams right there. Okay, so let's dive into each. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and I'm going to let's look at each. Oh, we're gonna just create a trade for each team. So give me 1 second. All right, so let's scroll down right here. Okay, first, yeah, let's do the Knicks first, actually. So, So if the Suns were to trade Kevin Durant, this would be pretty tough. So, Matt, is
Mhm.
there a trade that would send Kevin Durant to the Knicks without having to include Karl-Anthony Towns? Do you think?
Yeah, I'm reading this article right now on CBS Sports.
Mhm.
He said for the money to work out, a catless trade suggested sending Mikal Bridges,
Okay.
Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, and
Okay.
Pacom Diate, who was a rookie last year, I believe.
Interesting. Okay. So let's see. What's the so it's a $5 million difference there. So that would probably have to be another. There'd probably have to be like another thing to include there. Damn, OG really makes 15 mil more than Mikhail.
Buster's
Even
contract's looking
let,
pretty good too.
let's not factoring money. Do you think that's a good trade on both sides?
So KD's got one more year.
Yes.
I mean, the Suns are just in such a horrible spot.
Yeah.
I like.
The bright spot is Devin Booker. Devin Booker might get his best center since in his entire career. Like if we know he's not DeAndre, he's probably a little better than
Peyton, yeah.
Robinson. Yeah.
Peyton's better.
But
I don't think that's a good trade for the Suns, but I don't think the Suns are really in a position to say no to anything.
probably not. Does it sound like that OG's untouchable though? Yeah, let's think about this.
I mean, I don't think OG is untouchable. I mean, they did just extend him though.
True. So that trade looks like it would. Oh no, it still fails. So maybe you would have to. How much salary would we have to? Probably had to take out Hearts, honestly, and then add on someone else. I don't know. What is that? Oh, 0.7 mil by the Suns. So that would likely have to be if we took out Paco May. Okay, yeah, this is annoying, but the Knicks are in an interesting spot though, because obviously they just made the conference finals for the first time, but Cat being traded to the Suns would be interesting, but I don't see that happening in a trade for Kevin Durant.
You don't think the Knicks give up Cat if they trade for KD?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe they would for money's sake, but even then, like you're saving up a lot of money for next year. There's not much. There's not. You would be saving money, but I don't know how much more you could spend to replace him after next year if KD were to walk, which I don't know if he would or not. Who knows? Yeah, next we can do the Spurs. Actually, now this was an interesting one because I was listening to Zach Lowe yesterday, and he came up with one hell of a trade that I was so thrown off by. So we're sending Kevin Durant to the Spurs. The Spurs would be sending back Devin Vassell, I think Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Sohan, and I believe pick number 14. I believe this was the trade. What do you think?
If I'm the Suns and I'm trading Kevin Durant to the Spurs, I would want a Castle or the number 2 pick. However, I don't think the Spurs would give that up. I would. How old's Vassell? Does it say here?
It does not, but maybe it says on another page. No, it doesn't. Okay.
I can look it up.
Yeah, he's probably. I'm assuming he's like in his early mid 20s at this point, probably like 23, 25, maybe.
Because the Knicks package, everyone's pretty like over 28, I think, right?
Right. I don't like anyone in this deal though. That's the thing. Like Devin Vassell's
Vassell is 24 years old.
24. Yeah, so right down the middle is what I said. He's fine. I don't know how good he actually is. Jeremy Sohan, again, fine. On expiring deal, they're gonna have to extend him. Harrison Barnes would just be a salary filler guy. Yeah, I don't know, but like at the end of the day, like if I'm the Suns, I'm saying, okay, San Antonio, you have De'Aaron Fox. You're gonna draft if you keep this pick, you're gonna draft Dylan Harper, and you have the rookie of the year, Stephon Castle. I'm not saying it's crazy to keep all three of those guys, given the given that's given that like if you at least one of those guys isn't going to pan out, so having the other two would be great for insurance. But in my opinion, I'd just rather have I'd want one of those guys. Probably I think that Fox is probably the one least likely to get traded. I'm gonna remove this by the way. I'm thinking that Fox is probably the least likely out of the three to get traded. Actually, probably the number two pick is probably less likely as well. But I don't know. What do you what are your thoughts on Harper, Fox, and Castle all being on the same team?
Dylan Harper,
De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle.
Yeah, I mean, because Chris Paul's contract just expired, so I mean, I think Harper's going to be a stud. Like, I really,
me too. Yeah,
I think he's going to be, and the way people talk about him, like everyone loves him. So, and I mean, Castle showed that he won Rookie of the Year, and he wasn't even like the focal point of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's actually funny because and then Simmons said, if the Spurs knew they were going to get the number two pick this year, they probably wouldn't have made the Fox trade.
Who'd they give up in the Fox trade?
3 first round picks, I think.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, which you got De'Aaron Fox, and like he's not as good as he was in 2023, but he's still I still think he's an all-star caliber player, and I think he'll look even better next to Wemby for an entire season. But
I saw a tweet saying that, like, or maybe it was the it wasn't Pick a Side Pod. I forget what podcast it was.
It was Player's Choice.
Player's Choice. That's right. Is Fox
a
top 10 point guard? And I mean, I thought he was. I mean, they went through a couple names. I think he's still right around there.
It's just like because like they mentioned guys like LaMelo Ball and Trae Young. Like if you're taking LaMelo Ball in your franchise over De'Aaron Fox, you're not paying attention anymore. Like they're both injury prone, but like De'Aaron Fox has proven that he can lead a team to the playoffs and like play really well in the playoffs. Goes first for Trae Young. Trae Young's a better floor raiser, but like as far if I'm building a team to win a championship, De'Aaron Fox doesn't have as many weaknesses as Trae Young. So I don't know. Like De'Aaron Fox is one of my favorite players in the league. So like I'm coming off a little bias here, but I don't know. He's definitely someone I want if I'm building my team to win a championship.
There's also, you said they're both injury prone. There's also injury prone, and there's LaMelo Ball. I mean, there's LaMelo Ball can't play 30 games a year, and Trae Young. I know he's like you either love him or you hate him. I'm definitely taking De'Aaron Fox over Trae Young,
without a doubt. So, but last just like I'm thinking about it like either way. Like I understand like there's context and everything with Kevin Durant, Devin Vassell. Just like listen to those names: Harrison Barnes, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, and number 14. I'm hanging up the phone. Like I'm saying, like no, I need a young player and I need some solid assets. None of those guys wow me. None of those guys are top 50. None of the is Vassell top 50? I don't think so.
I have no idea. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. So, and unless you know someone at 14, I don't know.
So you're taking the Knicks package over that package?
Yes.
You say yes.
Knicks,
sorry.
Yes. Yes. I'm probably gonna take. Yeah, I'd probably take that over the next package. I'm thinking. Or no, probably taking the Knicks package. I'm thinking probably I'm going to take the Knicks package because I think the McHale is better than anyone in that deal, even if he's older.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, dude, is it age or is
And the Knicks would have to. I don't think the Knicks would throw 2 first-round picks in there. I think they would throw 1 because I think they have the 2030 pick. I don't know if they have anything else. They might have a swap, but I don't know if they have anything else. The Wolves one is very interesting to me. So, I think this will work out great for both sides. The Wolves would give up Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, Rob Dillingham, and Terrence Shannon Jr.
That's the best package by far so far.
Julius Randle would have to opt in, I think, and I don't know if he wants to do that. So like that's the biggest obstacle. If that were to happen, they would need to put Rudy Gobert in there, and then probably like a couple for all these trades. Actually, for all these trades, there's going to be a third team involved, so just keep that in mind. Definitely need to work out for this trade. I do know that Joel Moran from Pick a Side said like counted that package because he thinks that Rob Dillingham's going to be a stud. He said no, just do Julius Randle and Naz Reid for Kevin Durant. Which I would never do that if I'm the Wolves. But I just think both teams benefit from it. Obviously, the Wolves would have a starting lineup of like obviously they would have to like find another point guard because Dillingham wouldn't be that guy, but he would be Conley. You'd probably bring back Conley for another year. Ants at the 2, Jane McDaniels at the 3, KD at the 4 with Gobert at the 5, and you still have Naz Reid coming off the bench. You're gonna have to pay him too, but like you go all the way in this year with Kevin Durant and like obviously he and Anthony Edwards adore each other, so even though their games can be a little redundant, I feel like they have like a really balanced roster though to make it happen.
And the thing is, like, I was just reading that article about the Knicks package. I keep going back to it. Sorry. With if they trade Cat, the Knicks defense gets way better with replacing Kevin Durant with Karl Anthony Towns. The Wolves defense, I don't know if it gets better replacing Julius Randle with Kevin Durant, but it's not like a massive like
close.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like a massive drop off, is what I'm saying. And Kevin Durant's obviously way better offensive player than Julius Randle. So yeah, like you said, I guess their games are a little redundant, but I feel like it could work out well. I mean, you're pairing two top 10 players that I feel like on the floor don't have a lot of ego. I mean, off the floor obviously, but I feel like they contribute to winning more than they don't. So I feel like they could figure it out.
I feel like Ant would also be willing to like default a little more to KD than he was to like Cat or Julius Randle as well.
Yeah,
which like, I'm not necessarily saying like he was like a big like he did get better with his playmaking this year, so I'm not gonna say that. But like I also think that he's gonna take his playmaking to another level this year, given that his 3-game was the thing he improved on the most. So like I think the playmaking is gonna be his thing next year too. We got two more teams.
Wolves, sorry, if you're the Wolves, and I mean, you saw this year, you weren't you made the Western Conference Finals again, but you weren't on the level of the Thunder.
Right.
Your franchise has been, I mean, I hate to say the word poverty, but has been, struggling basically its entire existence. If you could go for it with I mean, you got a franchise player in Anthony Edwards. If there's a chance to really, really go for it, and you see now the Thunder are beatable. You improve your team greatly. I don't know why you wouldn't.
I agree. We got two more teams left. Then we'll do the Heat just because I don't want to close off on them because they stink. Now listen to this. So it's Tyler. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm not driving myself crazy because I feel like I'm not like all the tweets I'm hearing. Tyler Hero is not untouchable, right? I
saw in an article that people like if Tyler Hero is untouchable. I don't know why he wouldn't be.
What is up with Tyler Hero? Like he had an All-Star season last year. They didn't win.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know he played really well. They're giving him a big extension for whatever reason. What's his ceiling? Like he got much better this year. He was an All-Star. I for one didn't think he should have made the All-Star game. Which well, like I'm also willing to concede that. Like if you're like it's not like I'm saying like oh he definitely wasn't. Like I don't think he should have. But like if he made it, like I wasn't mad when he did. The guy doesn't win. And are you really going to miss out on the chance for Kevin Durant? Which I know people will say like, oh yeah, but you're missing out like a potential like a franchise player. I don't think Prio's a franchise player. I think you get the chance to get Kevin Durant, especially because if you include here in the deal, you're not going to include many other pieces. You're going to have to include some draft capital for sure, but like other players, no. So yeah.
How about if you're Pat Riley? I know you're old and stubborn. Why don't you learn from your past mistakes? You didn't include Jaime Jaquez in the Damian Lillard trade, and look, I mean, he had a pretty bad year. He regressed pretty badly. I'm not saying Hero's going to regress. I think he's just going to get better as he enters his prime. And I think Hero. I mean, I'm higher on Hero than you are. I mean, I think it's a little biased because I liked him in college and he was on my fantasy team this year. But like you said, I don't think he's a franchise guy. I don't think he's at all a number one option. I don't even think he could be a number two option on a championship team. I think he's more of a number three guy. And I mean, he's great offensively. He has his flaws defensively. And it's Kevin friggin' Durant. Are we forgetting how good he's 37? Yes. Yeah. He had an amazing year last year. I think he was 64 true shooting or something like that last year. It was something unbelievable.
The Suns missed the playoffs because he got injured. I think he played 63 games, I believe. So what is that? That's 19 games he didn't play. And I think they won like 3-16 or like 2-17, something like that. So like they were an awful team with him off the floor, and they were a very good team with him on the floor. So I hope people know that. But the Heat trade, if they were to include here, which they should, I'm not even going to entertain any other trades because if he goes to the Heat without them trading Bam or Hero, that's ridiculous. And I'll be very upset as a Celtics fan because they would be the Heat magic would be coming back to us. Let's see. So I believe it would be. So I'm not doing this on camera anymore because that was stupid. But so Kevin Durant go to the Suns. So the deal would have to include one of the three of. Oh, okay, so Hero and then. I don't know. The next one, I think it would have to be Duncan Robinson probably because I don't know if they would include. I don't think Andrew Wiggins would work because I think that'd be too much money at that point. Or no, it wouldn't be too much money. I think it would be. What would it be? Oh yeah, it would be too much money actually. Too much money bringing in. So it would likely be either Terry Rozier or Duncan Robinson with picks. They have the number 20 pick this year. 2026 is protected, and then 2027. They can trade that pick, and then they could also do swaps as well. So I'm thinking Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, 2 first-round picks and a pick swap, at least.
I mean, I think that
At least, yeah, yeah.
I think that's one of the lesser packages that we've talked about.
I think that's the worst one out of the 4. We do have one more team to talk about, but that's the worst one out of the 4 for sure.
I agree. All
right, so the last one is interesting to me. The Houston Rockets. I know that Amen Thompson is someone who I'm not as like I'm relatively high on him. Like I do think one day he could turn out to be like a top 10, 15 player. I know that Bill Simmons thinks that he's like the next thing. I know that the pick aside guys say he's like the best athlete. He's like the best athlete of all time. So would you say he's untouchable in a Kevin Durant trade?
Yes, because I think you have other young assets that you can sell.
Correct. Yes. So I'm thinking. So Dylan Brooks has to be in the trade for money pieces because Fred VanVleet makes too much money. Even if I think it's a team option. So I do think the Rockets are going. I don't know if the Rockets are going to take on that team option or not. I think that Reed Shepard would be in that deal. I think that Tari Eason would be in that deal, and I think that Jabari Smith Jr. would be in that deal.
I think that's one of the better deals that we've discussed so far.
I think it's the second best deal besides the Wolves, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's an argument to have the best. I mean, Reed Shepard didn't play this year. I mean, he was in and out of the G League, but people were insanely high on him coming into the draft, right. And people are still very high on him. And I think he was one and done in college too. So he's still 20 years old. Like he's still super young. Tari Eason showed that he's an elite two-way player. Even though, I mean, if you want to ask anybody, ask his mom on Twitter. And who was the Jabari Smith was the third guy?
Jabari Smith Jr. was the fourth guy in addition to Dylan Brooks. Yeah.
Oh, Dylan Brooks. Yeah, sorry, I'm just talking about that. I mean, Dylan Brooks. They would just. I mean, he's a good player, but would just trade him for money. I guess the contract piece. But yeah, Jabari Smith Jr. I don't really know how I feel about him, but the potential is definitely there. The upside is definitely there. I think he's only 21, 22 years old.
Sure, athletic too. Yeah. So. If I were to rank the assets that we went over, the packages we went over, I would say Minnesota 1, Houston 2, New York 3, San Antonio 4, Miami 5.
So sorry, say it again. It's
Minnesota, the Wolves 1,
Rockets 2,
the Knicks 3, the Spurs 4, the Heat 5.
I would agree with that. If anything, switch Rockets and Wolves, but I think the Wolves package is better.
I agree. So, yeah, I don't do any other teams interest you in Kevin Durant? I know that I'm not going to say it until you come up with another one, just because I literally wrote down all 5. But
another team that could trade for KD, I haven't really heard anyone that's kind of been. I mean, I heard the Nets were like checking in on Giannis. Maybe they check in on. I don't think they do that again.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who else.
I forgot it was either Simmons or Lowe. I listened. Yeah, so Lowe was on Simmons last night. They said the Clippers maybe, but that also they also think that Ivica Zubac would be untouchable in that trade, and that's but they also think that like that trade won't if they were to make if they were to call if the Suns were to. If the Clippers would have called the Suns and then the Suns said we want Ivica Zubac, and then they said we're not doing that, I think the Suns would hang up the phone because they don't have any other good pieces. Like a Norm Powell, Chris Dunn, Bogdan, like Nicholas Batum and a bunch of, and like I guess 2 picks because they already got rid of a bunch of their, like, they're getting their picks back from like I think like the time's running out from like the Paul George trade, but I don't know if they want to do that again.
Yeah, that's
Especially
true. They
yeah.
make this it, learn from your mistakes.
Yeah. Kevin Durant loves James Harden still. So, yeah, like, or does he actually? I don't know if he.
Would you? Yeah, yeah. I think that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he didn't draft him the day of the draft, but I think that may have just been a salt in the wind thing. But I don't.
If you're the Clippers, would you trade Zubac
I
for
don't
Kevin
know.
Durant?
I don't know.
Because Zubac, I mean, the thing is, Zubac is so valuable. He's a top 5 center. I mean, who are the top? Who are your top 3 centers? Embiid, tough to rank because of injury. So
So Jokic, AD, Bam, maybe Zubac, Sabonis, maybe
the bonus, yeah.
Şengün, maybe,
Cat,
but like you, Cat, yes, okay, yeah, Cat's in that top 3. I just said Şengün, but if I'm like if I'm like surrounding my, if you have like elite talent around me, I'd rather have Zubac than Şengün.
so he's in the top 5 conversation. We'll say.
Absolutely, yeah. Top 10 steady. Like he's like in the top. Let's say top half of like the in between the top 5 to 10 range.
Yeah, 5 to 7.
Yeah.
But it's also Kevin Durant, so that's
Yes,
where.
exactly. So, but it's just one of those things where like we've seen this with Kevin Durant before, where like where like teams trade valuable players, whether they're not as good as Kevin Durant, but then it spits in their face. So
Yeah, it's only 1 year,
which
Kevin Durant too.
it's only 1 year Kevin Durant's. I also think that the Clippers are, which granted, like the narrative. I just want to backtrack on the narrative that I just, because it was a narrative, like there's some truth to the narrative, but that being said, the Nets traded for Kevin Durant in hopes of getting of him and Kyrie and James Harden. The 3 of them looked great together when they played together. So I think that was a matter of just everything going wrong, the things that were out of Kevin Durant's control. The Suns were, some of it was in his control, some of it wasn't. I think the Bradley Beal trade, I think he may have vouched for it, but I don't know how much say he had in it altogether. But yes, like it wouldn't be a good look on him if they were to trade Ivica Zubac, and then like their biggest weakness again is defense and rebounding.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Lack of depth, because they'd be trading Norm Powell as well, probably. Okay. Now, I believe I mentioned, yeah, so it's in the title. So trivia. So now Matt will be testing my ball knowledge. I'm really excited. We're doing this nerd sesh style. Shout out Carson and Logan from Nerd Sesh. So they give each other top 10 lists. So Matt would be giving me a top 10 list to list off. Can you name me the top 10 word or 10 of this? And I'll be answering the question. So Matt, fire away.
All right. And I did work on this a little bit during work. So sorry, Joe, if you are watching. So let's start off with, we mentioned this in passing this episode, actually. I mentioned Kevin Durant's true shooting. So could you name me the top 10 best true shooting percentage from the 2025 NBA season?
Yikes.
Sorry, yeah, I went a little
yeah,
if
yeah,
you want to
peculiar.
What?
No, let's do this one. Just to check it out. Is Rudy Gobert in there or no?
Rudy Gobert is number 3.
Number 3. Okay. Is Naz Reid on here?
No, Naz Reid's not on here.
Naz Reid is on the list. But Jalen Duren.
Jalen Duren is number 2. Good job.
Number 2. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes. Let me start writing this down. By the way, these are my notes right here of the pod. Nothing to do with true shooting. Just showing to the screen right now. But so number 2, Jalen Duren. Number 3, Gobert. Number 1, is Rob Williams on this list?
No, I think there was a minimum games requirement, but he was not.
Probably, right? Yeah, that's what I figured. How about going through each team's center? Is Ivica Zubac on this list?
Zubac is not on this list.
Zubac's not on the list. Okay. Is either Al Horford or Kristaps Porzingis on this list?
No.
No? Okay, I didn't think so.
I think you're overthinking one of them.
Jared Allen. But like, I'm not overthinking.
Jared Allen's number 1.
Yeah, okay. Is Nikola Jokic on here?
Yes, Jokic is number 6. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 6 right now.
Okay. How about Giannis?
Giannis is not on this list, which is kind of surprising. I guess free throws.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. How about Shea?
Shea is not on this list. I'm trying.
Okay,
Sorry, let me pull up. I usually
you're
copy
good.
and paste more than 10. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Shea
You're
was
good.
number 15,
Okay.
and Giannis was 23.
23. Okay. Yeah, let's reach team. Evan Mobley is not here, right?
No, Evan Mobley's not on.
How about Chet Holmgren or Isaiah Hartenstein?
No.
Okay. Celtics, Cavs, Knicks. Is Karl Anthony Towns on here?
No, Cat is number 20. 20.
Okay. How about Miles Turner?
No. He's not in the top 25.
Not at this point in his career. I'm assuming Brooke Lopez isn't either, or Bobby Portis. No, yeah, I
Brook
wouldn't think
Lopez
so.
is 24.
24. Okay.
All right, so you said Jokic. You want me to give you
Yeah.
some hints or no?
Let me run through the teams first, and then I'll let you give some hints. So, Pistons, not Tobias Harris, unfortunately. Magic, is Wendell Carter Jr. on here?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's the Magic, of course not. I don't know why. What was I thinking? Yeah. It would be a miracle if anyone shot over 50% true shooting. Number 5, the 8th seed, the Heat. The Sixers, it's a bonus. He's got to be on here, right?
The bonus is number 8.
Okay. Okay. Thunder, the Warriors. One of the Warriors here, like, is it maybe post? No Warriors. Yeah, I don't think so.
Post shoots a lot of threes.
Şengün.
Şengün's not on here now.
Okay. 3. All right. I got half the list. So why don't I start getting hands actually? Yeah.
All right, so you said there are 2 people you said there. Sorry. You said Nikola Jokic. 2 of his teammates are on this
Really?
list.
Okay.
Yes.
Is one of them? It's not DeAndre Jordan, is it?
No.
Or am I just overthinking the center thing? Like, is it Christian Brown or is it Michael Porter
Christian
Jr.?
Brown is number 4.
Really? Oh my god.
67% true shooting this year.
Oh my god. Okay.
There's also another.
Aaron Gordon.
Yep. And then you said, I don't know if you want me to give you a team, but there's another.
What number is Aaron Gordon, by the way?
Aaron Gordon's number 9 at
Okay.
65%.
Okay,
There's another teammate here.
Oh, another teammate of one of these guys.
Mm-hmm. This is a tough one. I would not have gotten this.
Not Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey or Tim Hardaway Jr. Not that line. Ty Jerome.
No, he was number 12. Good.
Damn.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Good guess. This is really tough.
It is tough. Yeah. Chris Middleton. No, I don't think he played no games. He's true shooting usually pretty high though.
Okay, so
yeah,
number 5 is a teammate of one of the guys on this team, and number 7 used to be a teammate of both of those guys.
Oh, teammate of someone on this list. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. No.
I mean,
Vucevic.
No, wrong team.
Not Fox. Keegan Murray.
You're getting there.
Malik Monk. Who the hell am I? Alex Len. Who the hell am I missing? Wait.
Do you want me to tell you? This is so I can't believe it.
Oh, you can't believe that I'm missing it, or you can't believe like who's there?
I can't believe who's there.
Who is it? Yeah.
Keon Ellis is number 5.
No way. Oh my god.
66%.
Oh my god.
His old teammate is number 7, and number 10 we haven't mentioned yet.
Okay. Ellis's old teammate?
Ellis and Sabonis' old teammate, yes. Mentioned on the pod earlier.
Sabonis. Paul George? No, obviously not.
Think Sabonis and Keon Ellis.
This is getting really frustrating. I think you need to tell me these last two.
All right, number 7 is Harrison Barnes at 66%,
Oh,
65.6%. And
damn.
number 10's a center in the East. He was in the
Click
news
up.
a lot this year.
He's in the news a lot this year.
In the NBA news, NBA world a lot this year, especially at the trade deadline.
Did he actually get traded?
No, he kind of did.
Oh, what's his name? The Hornet Center, right?
Yeah,
What the hell's his name? Yeah, like
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams. Damn. Yeah. I actually would have gotten that, but yeah, more Harrison Barnes. I never would have gotten. By the way, that's
Keon
another. Yeah,
Ellis.
but no, both of them. Yeah. Like Harrison
I would
Barnes
have
isn't known to be
never
efficient.
gotten Keon Ellis.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
have gotten those guys.
this was hard. This was hard.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you started off hard, just because like this would have been hard. Yeah, but like it is gonna be hard to bounce back from. But let's do it. Okay,
All right, so this is a list of 20,
Oh, okay,
but I'll explain my reasoning for
okay.
doing 20.
Mhm.
The most points per game in a single season in history.
Okay, so yeah, so like a lot of them are repeats.
Yes,
Okay,
6 of them are one player.
Yeah, so Will Chamberlain in 1962, and then a bunch of the other ones in the 60s.
Yeah, Wilt is numbers 1 through 4,
Okay,
6, and 13.
okay, so that means Jordan's number 2, right? Or no, number 5, I guess.
Number 5, yeah.
Just number 5.
Michael Jordan is number 5 and number 10.
Okay.
And number 20.
Okay, number 20 as well. Okay, so yeah, so that's 7 out of the 20. Okay, so I believe that is James Harden on any of these?
James Harden's number 7 and number 15.
7, 15. Okay. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is Elgin Baylor on here?
Elgin Baylor is number 12.
Okay.
And number 17.
Okay, so yeah, let me start tallying these actually. So wait, okay, never mind. Actually, I'm not gonna do that actually. How about Allen Iverson?
Allen Iverson's not on this list.
Oh, he's not. Okay. Jerry West?
Jerry West is not on this list.
Okay. Oh, Kobe. Or not. He might not be actually.
No, Kobe's not on this list. Michael Jordan at 20 averaged 33.5 points a game.
Okay, good to know. 33.5. Okay. Harder than I thought. Yeah. I thought it'd be a little bit lower than that. So
we can give hints when needed.
Shea didn't go to no, he was like 32.7. So no,
he was 32, just hyper efficient.
Yeah. So I got, what is it, 13 now I got? So 5, wait, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I believe. So 7 more. Are there any more repeats?
Yes.
There is. Oh, wait, is Kevin Durant on here? I don't know if he's actually. Steph Curry's on here. Steph Curry's not on here? Really? Okay. All right. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is number 11.
Okay. So it's 14. How about LeBron never reached that high? No. 33. No, not 33. Westbrook, no. Running through all the all-time greats in my head. Rick Barry?
Rick Barry is number 16 and number 8.
Okay. So I think I got 4 more, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Oh, okay. Sorry. You said Kobe.
Yeah.
Okay, Kobe's number 9. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, number 9.
No, good. Yeah. So yeah, 3 more.
I was going to say, I thought he averaged more than 33 that one year.
Yeah. How about can we go eras? How about that? Yeah, just for the last 3.
2 players are currently playing.
Joel Embiid, is he one of them? 2 players are currently playing. Oh, I mentioned LeBron. I mentioned Steph. I mentioned Westbrook. I mentioned Curry. I mentioned Durant. I mentioned Embiid.
Think about scorers in our generation.
I mentioned Harden.
You didn't mention Harden.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
I 100% mentioned Harden.
Oh, sorry.
7 and 15, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Yeah. That's part of my tally tracker though. So that's
So
yes. So
what numbers do you need?
so I believe I have 1 through 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 through 4 is Wilt. 5 is MJ. 6 is Wilt. 7 is Harden.
Hmm.
I don't believe I have 8. I don't. Do I have 9? I don't think I have 9.
You have nine. Nine's Kobe.
Nine's okay. Nine's Kobe. Okay.
I believe you have eight as well.
Okay. Don't say that yet.
I won't.
Um,
10 is
10,
MJ.
10's MJ. 11 is I
Kareem.
think I said them. Yes. Okay. 12 is Elgin.
Hmm.
13 is Wilt.
Hmm. 14 you
I don't
don't
know.
have.
I don't have 14. 15 is Harden. I don't know if I have 16. 17 is Baylor.
Hmm.
20 is
Jordan.
MJ. And I don't know if I have 18 or 19.
I don't think you have 18 or 19.
Okay.
Did you say you have 16 or no?
I did not say I have 16.
Okay. But you wrote down all your guys that you've said?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wilt, MJ, Harden, Baylor. I may have stopped writing after that, honestly. I did say Kobe as well. I did say Rick Barry.
Yeah, Rick Barry is 16. He's number 8 as well.
Okay, cool. 8 and 16. Okay.
I think you're missing 14, 18, and 19.
So you said the two of them are current? You said the one of them was current
One of them is current
because I
because,
just said Harden. Okay.
yeah.
I don't know. Trey Young.
You think Trey Young averaged more than 30, 34
No, I
points?
don't. But it's someone just texted me. I don't know if it's someone that wanted to give me the score or not. But I'm just making that aware. I'm going to check that text message afterwards though. Mello? No, I know he's not playing, but I was just saying the name. But just because, the scores of our generation. What like?
Offensive talents of our generation. He did not win MVP this year or the
Is he
year that he's on this list.
the year that he won the scoring title? He did not win MVP.
Hmm.
The scores that I'm just gonna start listing them off again, even though I already said most of them. So Durant, LeBron, Steph Curry, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis,
He's a little
Jokic,
younger.
Younger. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. Okay, yes. Okay, good. Okay, that's good.
Now you're just missing 18 and 14.
18 and 14. Can I get a time period for that?
18 is on this list because of 1972, 1973, and 14 is
Oh,
1974, 75.
Elvin Hayes. West. No. Will. Yeah. I think you're gonna need to give me those last two.
All right. Let me give you a hint.
Okay.
So he led the league in scoring. This is 1972, 73. He came in third in MVP voting. He was on the
Oscar
Kansas City.
Robinson.
No, Kansas City Royals. He ended up playing for the Celtics later in his career.
Bob McAdoo. Bill Walton. I think we said Bill. I think I said Bill Walton, but no.
Well, that's not who I was talking about for 18. However, sorry, let me pull up the list.
16 is Bob McAdoo.
14
is it
is
someone?
yes.
14 is Bob McAdoo. Okay.
Yeah, with 34.52 points.
Okay.
18 is not Bob McAdoo. He's a point guard.
You said he played for the Celtics later in his career?
And yes, in 1980, he was on the 81 championship team.
Should I know this? Like,
Once I say his name, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god!" But he played on the Celtics for 5 years.
for 5
So
years?
yeah,
Is it Tanya Archibald?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right.
There you go. All right.
I think we got time for one more.
right.
Or we have time for a lot more. But like, yeah, let's do one more though.
I have a.
We did this one other time, and I was so much better at it. I'm so disappointed in myself.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing kind of stupid ones.
No, not at all.
I have.
That one wasn't stupid at all.
All right, so I have one that is. Do you want me to give you the two that I have ready? I can also look one up on Basketball Reference if you don't want to do either of these two.
Okay.
Most personal fouls since 2015 committed,
Okay.
or total points leaders from 1980 to 1989.
Let's.
Or do you want me to do total points from 2015, or you want me to look something else up?
Let's try the personal fouls one because
Okay.
maybe we can try to get that one. Okay. So from 2015 on, you said.
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, he's not on this list, but I looked up from 2010 to 2020. Amir Johnson was like 4th on this list.
Was he really? Okay.
Yeah.
So since 2015, is Karl Anthony Towns on this list?
Cat's number 2.
Number 2. Okay. Is
Yes.
Draymond Green on this list?
Draymond is number 7.
Okay. How about Montes Sabonis?
Sabonis is not on this list, but good guess.
Miles Turner?
No.
Brook Lopez?
No. No Lopez.
Hassan Whiteside?
No.
I'm thinking about guys that are blocking shots, but I guess it's maybe not a good strategy. Rudy Gobert?
Rudy Gobert is number 5.
Okay. Kevin Love?
Kevin Love is not on this list.
Al Horford?
No, good guess.
2015.
Yeah,
LeBron
it's the
James?
last 10 years.
10
Say it
years.
again?
LeBron James?
No, LeBron's not on this list.
No. Okay. Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis is not in this list.
Bam Adebayo?
No.
I'm thinking the most random. I'm just thinking of random big men at this point. Let's see. Said Miles Turner. Said Hassan Whiteside. Nikola Jokic?
Jokic is not on this list.
How about I don't know if he's been in the league for long enough. Jared Allen, maybe.
No, Jared Allen's not on this list.
No, yeah.
We have. So that you haven't said, there are. You want me to give you hints or no?
Yeah.
2 MVPs on this list.
Oh, okay.
One player was traded for another player.
Giannis.
Giannis is on this list. He's number 1.
Okay. The other MVP. I already said Jokic.
During this time frame too, he won the MVP.
During this time frame, he won the MVP. Okay. Good to know. 2015. It's not Curry or Harden, is it?
No.
It's probably Westbrook.
Westbrook, yes, number 8.
Okay.
So 9 and 10 are pretty tough because you just wouldn't think of them. But number 6 was traded for somebody on this list.
Somebody that I've already listed?
Yes.
Julius Randle?
Yes, Julius Randle's number 6.
Okay.
All right, so you got 4 left. You got 3, 4, 9, and 10. They're all centers except 10 is a 4, I would say.
10's a 4? Okay.
Yeah. We have
they're all centers though.
Yes, we have
Siakam?
a personal connection. Not personal connection, but number 10 is near and dear in our hearts for
near and dear in our hearts. Okay.
For a specific game, specific reason.
Porzingis?
No.
For a specific game. Like it hurt us, or like it
helped us.
Helped us. Okay. I mean, hang on, I'm gonna get off that hand actually and just think about other centers. Let's see. Center. Boogie Cousins. I know he has been in the league for a long time, actually, so maybe not. That would have been a good guess, though. Center. I said Lopez. I said Turner. iHearts, maybe? No. Mitchell Robinson, no.
This one of the guys played in the East this year.
Okay. Vucevic?
Uh, Vucevic is not on this list. No.
Okay. Um, said the two of them were traded for each other too. So center that played in the East. So
Well, no. The trade for
this
each other
year.
was Randall and Cat. You got
Oh yeah,
both
that's
of
right.
them.
Yeah, you did say that actually. Center. So see, Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Pistons, um,
He was a backup.
Magic. Okay. Heat, Hawks, Clint Capel?
No.
No. Okay. Andre Drummond.
Yep. Andre Drummond's number 4. That's who I was talking
Yeah,
about.
figured that's who it was. Yeah.
All right. So you got 3, 9, and 10. All. You want me? Can I give another hint?
Yes, please.
All white guys.
Oh, white guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Steven Adams.
No. Good guess though. I would think he's somewhere on here.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
already said
number
Porzingis.
3 played on the same team as true shooting king Keon Ellis this year. He had pretty high true shooting this year too.
Is he on the Kings or is he on the
He's on the Kings.
Bulls? On the Kings. Okay. Who's their backup big? I don't even know. Yeah.
Jonas Valanciunas.
Jonas. Okay. Yeah. I forgot he was on the Kings this year. He was traded midseason, right? Yeah. Why don't you tell me 9 and 10?
9 is Mason Plumlee.
Okay.
And number 10, I'm very sad you didn't get him. Game 7, Kelly Olynyk.
Damn. Oh, okay.
I should have said related to Kevin Love in some way because you mentioned Kevin Love.
Okay. Yeah. True. All right. I give myself a D tonight in that performance. Yeah. I'll be better. I'll be.
All right, Chris, to redeem yourself.
Okay.
Who had the most total points in the 1980s era? He was a Western Conference player.
It was George Gervin.
No, George Gervin is on the list at number 9.
Okay. The West.
Surprised me a little bit.
Okay, so I'm thinking Lakers. I'm thinking. Yeah. It's obviously not the Lakers, but the Moses.
No, Moses is number 2. You want me
Okay.
to tell you number 1?
Yeah.
Alex English.
Ooh. Okay.
Denver Nuggets. Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that actually before. So
I didn't realize he was that good. I know he was like the greatest
Mm-hmm.
Nugget of all time before before Jokic, but I didn't know he was that good.
Mm-hmm. Right. Cool. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Well, I will respond to this performance by me by going on Sporkle during class tomorrow. And just say as if I don't spend enough time looking up useless stats. I will be continuing to do so because
They were very tough though.
They were tough. But yes, like as someone that if I'm someone that claims to know more than most NBA fans, I should be better. But okay, so
you did a pretty good job on the points per game one too. Like
I thought so. Yeah. So
20 names. I mean, it's tough. 20 spots.
So we will we'll get to that in this we'll be going back to this certainly in the offseason. I know I said we'll be focusing more historical stuff, and now that trademark just happened, we will be doing a lot more Sporkle games. So we'll be doing that. Okay. So anyway, Matt, I know we give like a soft prediction, but so next week would be game 6 of the NBA finals. Do you think like I'll let you go over, under, or push? Do you think that night we'll have an NBA champion? Do you think we have an NBA champion before that, or do you think we have an NBA champion after that?
I think that night we're gonna have an NBA champion.
I agree. One or the other. I do think it'll go 6 games, but I will go the Thunder. But however, Pacers are going to win the finals. I think it will be in 6 games.
That's my take, and I'm going to lean with the Pacers. I think the Thunder are the better team, and I mean they do have the talent, but I don't know. It's a magical run for the Pacers, and sometimes you just gotta you gotta go with the basketball gods. And it seems like they want the Pacers to win.
maybe I might roll the dice, and I don't know if Fluent or Chill or anyone else is going to want to go live after the game, but I might want to do that. Maybe we'll do that instead of doing a regular pod that night, but we'll see though.
Won't be as good as last year's after the finals pod.
It will not be, unfortunately, but yeah, we could still have maybe we'll do some champagne. Maybe we'll drink some champagne in the pod anyway. It's just we can celebrate the end of the season. But all right, yeah, Matt, as per usual, thanks for coming on. Yeah, well, hopefully the full panel will be back on next week. Check out NBA Max on Sunday nights. We had an awesome episode last week. Post game show will likely be. Oh no, Game 5 is on Monday, so that won't be the case this time around. But like, yeah, we'll still have a regular show on Sunday night though. Check out my column on PrimetimeSportsTalk.com. Haven't written anything since the finals, but again, I'll be much more active this summer, whether it's about the NBA or baseball. I will definitely be writing an article about the All-Star Game selections. Follow me on all my social media platforms. At All American Hooper on TikTok, at All American Hooper with the zeros on Instagram, and at American Hooper on Twitter. As per usual, this has been another episode of the All American Hoops podcast. Subscribe to @SportsFluent to catch us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Until then, keep grinding and stay hooping. Have a good night, everyone.
Oh, Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
No, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.